All right, good afternoon, folks. My name is Kurt Hitzemann, County Court Judge here in Hernando County. You folks are here for your first appearance. The purpose of the first appearance is so that you may be told formally what the charge or charges against you are, and then I will determine if probable cause exists for those charges. Probable cause simply means that it's more likely than not that a crime has occurred, and more likely than not that you're the person who committed that crime. Of course, as you stand before me this afternoon, I presume that you're innocent of these allegations. That presumption of innocence will stay with you through every stage of the proceedings unless and until the State Attorney's Office is able to prove the allegations against you beyond and to the exclusion of a reasonable doubt. We'll set your conditions of pretrial release this afternoon. That is your bail or bond. In most cases, you've got a bond set already pursuant to the bond schedule here in the 5th Judicial Circuit, or the warrant which led to your arrest. I will determine if that bond should be raised or lowered or left the same, or whether there'll be additional conditions of pretrial release placed upon you. We'll let you know when your next court date will be. If you'd like to have the services of the Public Defender's Office, I will gladly appoint the PD to represent you this afternoon. You do have a right to have contact with folks on the outside, family, friends, counsel. If you have not had a chance to make that call, please let me know. We'll make sure that that happens. Finally, and most importantly, you're advised that you do have an absolute right to remain silent with regard to the facts that surround your arrest. I encourage you to do that. These proceedings are recorded. In addition, there is an assistant state attorney in the courtroom with me. If you say something that tends to incriminate you, they will use it against you in the prosecution down the road. I now need each and every one of you there at the jail to please raise your right hands and be sworn. Y'all solemnly swear or affirm, tell the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth? Outstanding. When you hear your name called, please step forward to the podium. Adrian Luca. Want to miss what's your date of birth? You've got 2 charges today, possession of marijuana, possession of drug paraphernalia. There's probable cause for those charges. As to those charges, you wish to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like me to appoint the public defender? I'll appoint the PD, State.
I'm showing an actual constructive possession of synthetic and of Pasco County files. It says charges were filed, but I don't see any disposition, and that was in 2018. An adjudication of guilt in 2017, where jail was imposed for possession of paraphernalia and a synthetic. And in 2013, adjudication of guilt, where 75 days jail was imposed out of Pasco County. A driving with license suspended, adjudication of guilt in 2013, as well as an actual synthetic. 2014, adjudication of guilt for prostitution. Adjudication withheld in 2010 for possession of synthetic and oxycodone. Adjudication withheld for synthetic in 2010, another count, and all of the charges are out of Pasco County.
All right. Hey, Ms. Luca, is there an address where you've been staying lately?
Yes.
What's that?
7301 Allison Street.
Okay.
Port Richey.
Okay. How long have you been there?
4 years.
All right. Do you have a job these days?
Yes, I do.
What do you do?
I'm a home caretaker, and I have 2 animals at home all by themselves.
Okay. Let's set your bond at $500 on each count. That's a total of $1,000. I'll have you back in court on the 8th of March. Very important that you contact the Public Defender's Office when you get out, all right?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Trinity Mercure. Afternoon, miss. What's your date of birth? What's your date of birth?
July 24th, 2000.
Very good. I have 2 charges today, possession of methamphetamine, possession of drug paraphernalia. There's probable cause for the charges. As to those charges, you want to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
Could I hire a public defender?
I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. State any history.
No, Your Honor.
And Trinity, I have an address for you on Juliet Court in Spring Hill. Is that where you live?
Yes.
How long have you been there?
I'd say about 4 or 5 months now.
All right. Do you have a job these days?
No.
Okay. Have you ever had one?
I I've had a couple jobs in the past. I used to work for Central Marketing
Okay.
over in Hudson, and then I was an elderly caregiver for my aunt over in Valley.
Okay.
Over in New Jersey.
Okay. All right. Set your bond at 500 on each count. That's a total of 1,000. I'll have you back on the 5th of March. Very important that you contact the public defender when you get out. Okay.
All right.
Thank you. Dawn, start. Afternoon, Ms. Stark. What's your date of birth?
8/31/69.
Stark, you're here on 2 charges, felony domestic battery by strangulation and domestic battery. There's probable cause for those 2 charges. As to those charges, you wish to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like me to appoint the public defender?
Public defender.
I'll appoint the PD, State.
No convictions, Your Honor.
Dawn, I have an address for you on Coral Street in Spring Hill. Is that where you live?
Yes, sir.
How long have you lived there?
About 6 months.
Okay. And is it Kaylee that lives there with you? Is that how you say it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. She's your daughter?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you have a job these days?
Yes.
What do you do?
Certified nursing assistant.
Okay. I'm going to set your bond on the strangulation charge at 1,000, on the battery at 500. That's a total of 1,500. Condition of the bond is that you'll have, while these charges are pending, you'll have no contact with your daughter. No contact means no contact of any kind. You don't call, you don't write, you don't email, you don't text message, you don't contact her through social media. You don't go where she lives, don't go where she works. You don't have any contact of any kind. Any way that you might imagine contacting her, I forbid you to do that. If you have contact and we find out about it, your bond can be revoked and you can be held without bond until the charges are resolved. It means no contact even if she wants the contact. So if you answer your phone and hear her voice, you should hang up. If you're out and about and see her, you should turn around and run the other way. You need to understand that she cannot drop the charges against you. That's not a decision she'll be allowed to make. She may go to the state attorney's office and ask that the charges be dropped. She may say she's not interested in pursuing this matter. But that decision belongs solely to the assistant state attorney who's handling your case. So unless that person or the judge on your case tells you the charges are dropped, you should assume they are not dropped and you should not have contact. I also have to hold you at the jail today up until 4 o'clock this afternoon, so that if you wanted to serve you with a civil injunction for protection against domestic violence, we'd know where to find you. If you get the civil injunction, it's doubly important that you not have contact, because in that case, not only could you get your bond revoked here, but you could get new charges for violating the injunction. As far as that address on Coral Street goes, if she continues to stay there, you'll have to find somewhere else to stay until we get this case resolved. You could, in that case, go back one time to collect your things, your clothes, your toothbrush, whatever you need for wherever you plan to stay. To accomplish that, however, you would need to contact the sheriff's office first. They would meet you there with a deputy who would stand by while you got your things and got going where you're going. You'll be back in court on the 5th of March. It's very important that you contact the public defender when you get out, okay?
Yes.
Thank you. Jamie Butler. Afternoon, sir. What's your date of birth?
9/17/92.
Jamie, the charge is providing false name to law enforcement. There's probable cause for the charge. As to that charge, you want to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like me to appoint the public defender?
Public defender.
I'll appoint the
I have a quick question for
What's
you,
that?
sir. Is there any way we can deal with this today?
I don't know. State?
State's offers time served.
If you want to enter a no contest plea right now, Jamie, I would adjudicate you guilty of the charge and sentence you to 1 day in the county jail, credit 1 day served, assess the fine and court costs, and this would be done right now.
Yes, sir.
You want to do that?
Yes, sir.
You understand, by entering a plea, you give up the right to have a trial by jury, the right to confront the witnesses against you, the right to remain silent, the right to have a lawyer represent you, because I unappointed the public defender. But you're willing to give up those rights so we can take care of this case today?
Yes, sir.
As to the charge of false info, how do you wish to plead? You can plead no contest.
No
I'll
contest.
accept that plea, find that it was freely and voluntarily made, I'll adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 1 day in the county jail, credit 1 day served, fine and court costs is $50 for the day in jail. Sorry about that.
Sir.
But that takes care of it, Jamie. You're, if there's nothing else keeping you in the jail, you'll be free to go right now, okay?
Okay, thank you very much.
Not once in 14 years. For you. Oh, stop. Completely discombobulated now. Jalen Albume. Jalen, what's your date of birth?
08/04/97.
Jalen, you're here on a violation of probation warrant that Judge Rupi found. She found probable cause for the VOP. As to that charge, did you want to represent yourself? Did you want to hire private counsel? Would you like the public defender?
Public defender.
Did you folks want to tell me something? You're here for him?
Yeah.
And did you want to tell me something?
Yes, sir. As far as we look
Come
concerned,
on forward. Hang on a second. All the way up. There we go. And raise your right hand. Solemnly swear firm, tell the truth, all the truth, nothing but the truth.
yes, sir.
State your name.
Cheyenne Alderman.
All right. What do you want to tell me about jail?
We had paid everything off at probation, so we were assuming all he had to do was go to the classes. There was no representative from the probation office stating that we had to go back to them. We had paid everything off, so we thought as long as he went to the classes, the drug classes, he'd be good. We'd be done. And here we are back in court, and he had a warrant, so we went and turned him in, just to, follow the steps, do everything correctly.
Right. He was testing positive for cannabis use.
Yeah, that was still less than 21 days from the first exam that they had gave him.
Okay. He
I'm not like a genius, but on Google, it says 27 days it's in your system.
hang on.
Yes, sir.
On the 31st of May, he was convicted for possessing cannabis. On the 24th of January, 2019, he tested positive for cannabis.
So, yeah, but that was, I'm talking about from the first one to the next one. From at the drug class.
I'm telling you that months and months and months after he went on probation, he was still using cannabis, and he was on probation for
Yes, sir.
possession of cannabis.
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's why he's where he is right now.
Yes, sir.
Okay, because part of the deal when they go on probation for not using cannabis is they have to understand that you can not use cannabis, not in Florida anyway, and not without a medical card.
Yes, sir.
So that's why they did it. The recommendation they're making today is 90 days. I don't want to sentence him today. I want him to talk to a lawyer and see if there's some better resolution he can get.
Okay.
But it's a VOP, which means he's not going anywhere until we resolve the case. Okay?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. So, Dylan, I appointed the public defender. The bond on the warrant is no bond. You'll be back in court on the 6th of March. The PD is going to come see you and see if they can get you something better than the 90 days that they're looking for now, okay?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Michael Brown? Afternoon, Michael. What's your date of birth?
4/16/75.
Michael, you're here on a writ of bodily attachment. That means a child support hearing officer and a circuit judge determined that you owe some child support. They set a cash purge of $1,470. Do you have that much money, Michael?
No.
Okay, you working these days?
I was, so they picked me up.
What were you doing?
I was back with Sykes Town, and I got a thing in the mail saying that he was supposed to garnish my wages, and then I thought everything was good, and they just picked me up.
Okay. All right. And then, Michael, is there any amount of money that you could get to the jail today if it meant getting out of jail today?
I could probably get my parents to bring something. I haven't made a phone call yet.
All right. Pick a number for me.
Couple hundred.
I'm not trying to be smart with you.
I know,
I want you to pick a number that you really think they'll bring. Any number at all.
A couple hundred. If that's okay.
Okay, it is. That's why I just wanted you to tell me. I don't want to pick a number you can't actually get.
Appreciate that.
All right. So here's what I'm going to do. Find your contempt for failing to pay child support. I will, as a sanction for that contempt, sentence you to 10 days in the county jail starting today, or until somebody brings $200 to the jail, all right? So if you get $200 to the jail, then you're out. Now, that doesn't mean that would be the end of this. You'd want to get yourself right to the folks at Child Support Enforcement and try to get this issue cleared up so that you don't get arrested again, okay?
Yes, sir.
Very good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anthony de Blasio. Afternoon, Anthony. Date of birth?
6/25/66.
Anthony, you're here in a warrant signed by Judge Toner. Apparently, he believes you failed to appear in front of him on 2 counts: possession of controlled substance, possession of paraphernalia. As to those charges, you're representing yourself. You got private counsel or the public defender.
Public defender.
Appoint the public defender. Judge Toner set those bonds at $4,000 and $2,000 respectively. I can't change those. That's a total of $6,000. I'm going to change your date so we get you back in front of Judge Toner to the 13th of March at 8:30 in the morning. If you're able to bond out, Anthony, then you should contact the public defender right away. If you can't get out, they'll come see you before you go back to court, all right?
Okay.
Thank you. Darcel Douglas. Afternoon, Darcel. What's your date of birth?
4/26/94.
Darcel, this comes in as an attempted organized fraud. There's probable cause for that charge. As to that charge, you want to represent yourself. You want to hire private counsel. Or would you like the public defender?
Oh, defender, sir.
I'll appoint the PD, Steve.
I'm showing a Hillsborough felon in possession of a firearm, adjudication of guilt in 2017, as well as a resisting without violence in the same info. 2013 petty theft, where a jail sentence was imposed, and a prison sentence for a burglary, adjudication of guilt in 2012, as well as possession of burglary tools. And then he has juvenile history, where he had to be in a facility for multiple charges.
All right. And Mr. Douglas, I have an address for you on Riverboat Drive in Tampa. Is that where you live?
Yes, sir.
How long you been there?
My whole life.
Do you have a job these days?
Yes, sir. Landscaping.
Okay. Set your bond at $2,000. I'm going to have you back in court on the 5th of March. If you get out, make sure you contact the PD, okay?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Andrew McCarty. Sorry. Afternoon, Andrew. What's your date of birth?
February 13th, 83.
Andrew, there's 2 counts of felony battery, being battery second or subsequent convictions. There's probable cause for those. As to those charges, you wish to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
Sir.
Appoint the PD, State.
I'm showing that he just went in PTI in September of 2018 for resisting without violence and battery second or subsequent.
I'm on drug court right now.
You're in drug court?
Sir.
Okay. All right. Any other history?
Disorderly conduct, adjudication of guilt in 2017. A false information to a law enforcement, adjudication of guilt, battery on a correctional officer, adjudication of guilt in 2008, where a student prison sentence was imposed, aggravated assault on an officer, firefighter, adjudication of guilt in 2008 with the prison sentence imposed, felony driving with license suspended, adjudication of guilt on a Hernando County in 2007.
That's good. Mr. Bauer, do we send him to Thursday court for the special court? Not yet? Okay. So we'll leave it on the regular docket.
Just leave it on the regular docket until
they'll figure it out. Okay. All right. So, Andrew, I have an address for you on Tillery Road in Spring Hill. Is that where you live?
Sir.
How long have you been there?
About a year.
Do you have a job these days?
I got 2 jobs.
What do you do?
Roofing.
Say that again?
Roofing.
Roofing, okay. I'm going to leave the bonds at $2,000 on each count for a total of 4. Condition of those bonds is that you'll have no contact with Ann Carter or Dane Douglas. Did you hear me explain no contact earlier?
Yes, sir.
And do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Very good. In addition, I'll hold you till 4 o'clock this afternoon so that if Miss Carter wanted to serve you with a civil injunction in order to find you, these cases will be back on the 5th of March, all right?
Thank you.
Thank you. Damian Moore. Afternoon, Damian. What's your date of birth?
3598.
Damian, you're here on a warrant that I signed. I found probable cause for violation of probation. As to that charge, you want to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
Public defender.
I'll point to PD. Bond on the warrant is no bond. I'm not going to change that. I'll have you back in court on March 6th. The PD will come see you before then and see what we can do about getting your case resolved, okay?
Yes, sir. But do you happen to have a like what the offer from the state is?
I do.
On time for it?
120 days in the county jail.
Can I take that right now?
No. The answer is that I want you to talk to a lawyer first. Maybe they can do something better.
All right.
All right? You're getting credit time since yesterday. You'll get credit for every day that you're in, and then we'll figure it out next month, okay?
All right. Sounds good. Thank you.
Thank you. Andrew Parker. Afternoon, Andrew. What's your date of birth?
5/16/75.
Andrew, you're here on a writ of bodily attachment. Child support hearing officer, circuit judge determined you owe some child support. They set a cash purge of $570. Is that a number you can pay, Andrew?
No, sir.
All right. Are you working these days?
No, sir. I had a job lined up, but I'm here.
Okay. How long has it been since you worked?
A couple years. I've been taking care of my fiance and
Okay.
my roommate needs
Right.
handicapped.
Okay. All right. And is there any amount of money that you could get to the jail if it meant getting out of jail today?
Between $25 and $50. My fiance is going through cancer surgery. She doesn't have it.
Okay.
That's where she's at right now, Tampa General.
Okay. Okay. I'll find that you're in contempt for failing to pay child support. The sanction for that contempt will be 10 days in the county jail starting today or until you pay a cash purge of $40. So get the $40 cash to the jail and you're out. Otherwise, you'll do the 10 days. Whenever you get out, you should check with child support enforcement because you need to clear this issue up or they'll keep arresting you, okay?
All right. I need to be able to use the phone. It hasn't been able to work for me for my free phone call.
Who would you like to call?
I need to call my fiance.
And what is her name?
That's the only number I have.
Okay, what's her
Nicole
name?
Smith. Nicole Smith.
Okay, and what's the phone number?
352-397-0753.
All right, they'll let you make that call, okay?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. David Podmockley. Afternoon, David. What's your date of birth?
10/21/60, Your Honor.
David, the charge is battery being domestic in nature. There's probable cause for that charge. As to that charge, you want to represent yourself. You want to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
Sir, I'd like to take care of this today if it's all possible.
I can't take care of it today.
And the reason being with explanation.
Hey, I understand a lot about the facts, and the other side is here, and I'm going to hear from Susan in a second. But I don't want you to say anything, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. So let me do this. Susan, you want to come forward? Raise your right hand. Okay, Susan. Solemnly swear firm, tell the truth, whole truth, none but the truth.
Yes, sir, I do.
State your name.
I'm Susan, last name W-I-E-S-T, pronounced Weist.
All right, Miss Weist. This is an odd one. So apparently you made contact with law enforcement at the end of January, and then David got arrested yesterday.
Yes, sir, that's correct.
All right. And what do you want to tell me? Well, let me ask you this. Are you wanting, because it seems like you guys were living together when they came and arrested him, so I assume that you'd like to continue doing that?
I invited him back to the home, yes, sir.
Okay. And are you concerned that he's going to hurt you or harm you in any way?
In no way, shape, or form, sir.
Anybody threaten you or coerce you to get you to come here today?
No, sir, I'm here for your will.
And how long have you known David?
2.5 years now, sir. We've been together for about 2, living together.
Okay. And y'all live together, obviously?
Yeah, yes, we do. And go fishing.
All right. And David, are you working these days?
Sure, I'm 100% disabled combat veteran.
Okay. Let's do this then. I'm going to go ahead and appoint a public defender for you because I think they can help you. I'm going to set a very low bond. I have to set some kind of bond, but I'm going to set a very low one so that you can get out and you can work with the public defender. And I'm also going to allow you two to continue to have contact, okay?
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
So I'll appoint the public defender. I'm going to set a bond at $10. Condition of the bond, David, is that any contact you have with Susan is peaceful contact.
Mm-hmm.
It's always a crime to touch her any way she does not want to be touched. It could be, in addition to that, it could be a violation of your condition of pretrial release if you so much as raise your voice, okay?
Thank you.
So all contact is peaceful contact till we get this resolved. And Susan, as far as you're concerned, if you ever felt the need to call 911, you still get to call. None of this changes anything, all right?
Yes, sir.
If there's a problem, call 911. They'll come just like they ever would.
Thank you very much, Your Honor.
So you all be back in front of me on the 6th of March. When you get him out, make sure he has contact with the public defender's office and start telling him what's been going on here, all right?
Okay, great. Thank you
All right.
so much.
Thank you, Your Honor. Have a
Thank
nice
you.
day.
You too. John Ward?
Sir,
Afternoon, John. What's your date of birth?
12/15/71.
All right, John, you're here on a charge of felony driving on a suspended license. There's probable cause for the charge. As to that charge, you want to represent yourself. You want to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
Public defender, please.
I'll appoint the PD, State.
Showing a 2015 adjudication of guilt for a possession of controlled substance out of Hernando County. A guilty adjudication of guilt 2014 for habitual driving with license.
There's about 11 Willis convictions. There's plenty of those, I know.
Yeah, so a bunch of those, and a possession of cannabis adjudication withheld in 2009, and no other history, Your Honor.
Okay. And John, I got an address for you on Woodland Circle in Ridge Manor. Is that where you live?
Yes, sir.
How long you been there?
Since 1980.
Okay. You got a job these days?
Yes, sir.
What do you do?
Construction work.
Okay. All right, John, I'll set your bond at $2,000. I'll have you back on March 5th. Make sure you contact the PD when you get out, okay?
All right, thank you, sir.
Thank you. Alfred Williams. Afternoon, Alfred. What's your date of birth?
February 4th, 1994.
All right, Alfred, I have 3 charges today: resisting with violence, criminal mischief, and possession of drug paraphernalia. There's probable cause for those charges. As to those charges, you wish to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like me to appoint the public defender?
I say public defender, but can I make a quick statement on that? Resisting arrest with violence?
Alfred, ultimately I can't stop you from doing it, but I recommend that you don't because you're under oath and these proceedings are recorded and there's an assistant state attorney here listening to you. You might say something that you don't realize isn't helpful to you, and I don't want you to do that. But like I said, this is America, land of the free, home of the brave. If you want to talk, you can talk.
Your lawyer would tell you not to talk.
There you go. That's the public defender who I just appointed telling you not to speak.
Okay, is the PTI officer there? Because I only have one more day.
Okay, all right. All we're gonna do today, Alfred, is I'm gonna set a bond for these charges, and if we're not gonna, there's no way for us to resolve them today. You have to go to court. But the thing I'm gonna do now is set a bond, and then you'll have a chance to get out and talk to your lawyer and figure out what's gonna happen. Okay? Okay. All right. State any history.
He went on PTI in August of 2018 for a carrying concealed, unlicensed electric and a criminal mischief. Other than that, Your Honor, no history.
All right. And Alfred, I have an address for you on Sunridge Drive in Ridge Manor. Is that where you live?
Yes, sir.
How long you been there?
Same age as my son, 10 months.
Okay, and do you have a job these days?
Yes, sir.
What do you do?
I'm a sales representative for Spectrum.
Okay.
Also have a small catering business.
Okay.
Also I'm a foreman without a week incentive of work.
Okay. What I'm going to do on the resisting charge, I'll set the bond at $2,000. On the other two, per the schedule, which is $1,500. That's a total of $3,500. I'll have you back in court on the 5th of March. If you get out, contact the PD right away. Okay?
What? All right.
Hani Khalil.
Yes, Your Honor.
What's your date of birth, sir?
November 1974, sir.
Henny, I've got two charges today. I've got an aggravated assault and a battery, both being domestic in nature. There's probable cause for those charges. As to those charges, you wish to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like me to appoint the public defender?
A public defender, if you don't
I'll
know.
appoint the public defender. State what you tell me.
2012 aggravated assault with a deadly weapon that was dropped in 2012. A adjudication of guilt 2012 for driving license suspended, second offense out of Hillsborough County. And no other history, Your Honor.
Okay. Sir, I have an address for you on Applegate Drive in Spring Hill. Is that where you live?
Yes, sir.
How long have you lived there?
Over 7 years.
All right. And Vivian lives there as well?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Do you have a job these days?
I have auto selling used cars,
Okay.
affordable auto sales. Yes.
Okay.
I've been doing that for the last 5 years, and we've been married for over 15 years. My father and my mother live on Spring Hill Drive. That I can move with them for now.
Okay.
If the case is resolved.
That works. So
Yeah.
what I'm going to do, Henny, is set your bond on the ag assault at $1,000, on the battery at $500. That's a total of $1,500. The condition is that you have no contact with Vivian. You heard me explain no contact.
Yes, Your Honor.
Can you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Very good. Also, have to hold you till 4 o'clock, so if she wants to serve you with a civil injunction, we know where to find you. Since you've got someplace to go, that's great. You can go by Applegate one time to collect your clothes, your toothbrush, whatever you need. You must contact the sheriff's office before you go there, and they'll arrange to meet you there with a deputy who will stand by while you get your things and get going where you're going. We're going to have you back in court on the 5th of March. Very important that you contact the public defender when you get out, okay?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. John Moliterno.
How you doing, Your Honor?
Afternoon, John. What's your date of birth?
August 26, 1970.
All right. John, I think I have actually 2 warrants for you out of Pinellas County. They're both failed to appear. One for driving on a suspended and one for a reckless driving. So whoever is there at the jail today, my page 1 comes in with just the 1. But then when I read the teletype page, there seems to be 2. Can anyone shed any light? Hang on, John. Don't you say anything.
It may be downstairs, sir.
Oh, the paperwork?
It may be downstairs, I'll double check.
Okay. My clerk friends are telling me there might be paperwork downstairs. Would we need a separate page 3 for each of those?
I did not receive second page 3.
Okay. Well, I'm looking at I can put 2 on it. It's just that the second one isn't listed, and I didn't know if there was something else going on with it.
Your Honor, there are 2 separate affidavits, each for an FTA.
Say that again?
There are 2 separate affidavits out of Pinellas County, each for an FTA.
Okay. I mean, I know they've got some new employees in the booking department, so there could be some issues.
Your Honor, I got another question for you.
Yes.
I had first appearance on Friday for a job with a suspended license. Can I take care of that today so I can go back to Pinellas County?
Yeah, for a local charge?
Yeah.
Hang on a second.
Your Honor, the defendant has an open, it looks like expired driver's license, 2018 CT 3479.
That's the only thing open?
Yeah.
It's an expired?
Expired tag, new police report, and yeah, but that's all I have.
Okay.
It was on our docket.
Okay. How long you been in jail, John?
Since Friday, 4 days, 5 days.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, You okay with 4 days on expired tag?
Yes.
And case number again?
Yeah. I also have driving with.
Hey, hang on. You said drive. Well, hang on. What's the case number again?
2018 CT 3479.
That's an old case. Yeah. So I'm guessing then, court friends, what's going on is whatever you had first appearance for Friday isn't in the system yet, right?
Unless it was a warrant, it probably wouldn't be.
Yeah, it's not. Can we track it down and then have it back tomorrow?
Yeah.
Okay. John, I'll tell you what, because you so recently had first appearance, there's nothing in the system, but I will give you time served. You just have to wait till tomorrow and then you get on your way to Pinellas, all right?
Actually, for both charges, for the expired license and the driver's suspended.
Anything that we can find that you have open in Hernando County, I'm going to resolve for time served tomorrow.
Excellent, thank you.
All right, so here's what we're doing. On these two cases, the bond is $25.13 in each case. If you can post that bond, then you can go to Pinellas and find out when they want you in court. If you can't post it, I'll give them 5 days to come get you. I'll have them add you to the first appearance docket tomorrow, and we'll take care of your local charges tomorrow, all right?
Yes, sir, thank you.
Awesome, thank you.
Thanks.
All right, and that should be it, right, Joe?
We have a plea.